Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from today. We greet you and we say thank you so much for being here. We're excited today to be here with you to just share another nugget of how we need to embrace ourselves. My name is Leslie Montgomery, and this is LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned, and we're just happy to be here today. I'm going to let she's not even a guest, my host, to introduce herself in a minute. But before she does, or no, go ahead, Wanda. Come on through here and tell us about you and what you got going on.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, might be evening somewhere, everybody. We so happy that you joined us today. I'm excited to be here. It's a brand new day. I'm excited about the topic. My name is Wanda Floyd. I am a licensed hair care professional. Been licensed for 31 years. I'm an educator. I'm a trainer. I'm a mother. I do some things in ministry. I got some things going on, and I am just honestly happy to be here to share with beautiful Miss Leslie and help inspire someone in their lives. Miss Leslie?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it how you're embracing yourself these days and talking about what you do so well. I want to say good morning to those that have joined us. Uh, like Minister Wanda said, we are just excited to be here and we're happy to be here. So give me 1 minute. I want you to know, hmm, I'm doing this wrong, but let me put this down a minute. So I'm trying to tag people, but I need to wait and first do this. Let me pull out my mirror. You know, I said this morning when I looked in the mirror that I was excited about how I am gracefully getting older and how I'm embracing that the chicness of it and even the gray hair and how for a long time when it started getting to this point I started dyeing it. You didn't see any gray, and now I'm enjoying it. So when you look in the mirror, embrace who you are, love who you are, and love how the Creator has made you and what He has made you to be. Can we always look in the mirror and see something we can change? Yeah, we can. Can we look in the mirror and down ourselves? Yeah, we can. Can we look in the mirror and say, I'm not looking in the mirror no more because I don't like what I see? We can do it every day. But what I want you to understand is that this mirror was made not for you to go and pull yourself apart, but for you to see that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, to see that the Creator, our Father Yahweh, has really done a good job. And why do I say that? When He finished with Adam, what did He say? It is good. So I want you to know today, if you're sitting on side of your bed, if you're in your bed and you don't want to get up because you feel like life is not worth getting up for, I want you to know it is. If you have breath in your body, you have the gift of life. And the gift of life today is different than the gift of life yesterday. Why do I say that? Because it's a new day. And what's there's that song out there say it's a new day, it's a new uh, everything's going my way. Well, it might not seem like everything is going your way right now, but I promise you, if you look past where you are and you begin to see past what you see that is negative, you'll see that things is going to be all right. You'll see that there is a bigger picture than where you are right now. Don't get stuck looking at the negative. Don't get stuck in the place that you think that you have no hope. That's not where you belong. You belong in the grace of Elohim. You belong in a place that He has created for you, because even at these times, He knew we would have these times. He knew that we would be in places sometimes when we were down, we were low, we was beating up ourselves. But He always told us that, what is that scripture? Not well, I'm thinking about my grace is sufficient for you, but He says that the joy, it doesn't come from our emotions. It doesn't come from our negative thinking. It comes from the word. It comes from the living word. And there's life and life more abundantly for you. So don't get stuck where you are. Understand there's a greater place for you. There's more for you to do, and that in this hour and in this time, we need you to be motivated enough to get up and begin to continue to complete your purpose, because your purpose is not completed. Your purpose right now is stagnated because you are stuck on what you don't have. You are stuck on what you don't look like. You are stuck on what somebody else is doing and what somebody else has. And you're looking at yourself and saying, I don't have this. This is not right. That's not right. Well, it's time to move from that place. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, embracing who you are. You were created, you was created with a purpose. And even when I think about it, I think about Yeshua, which is Jesus Christ, some call, and how he was created with a purpose. He wasn't just sent here, he had a purpose. You were not just sent here on earth, you have a purpose. And you have to, I shouldn't say you have to, because you have a free will. But I behooved you, behoove you to complete your purpose. Understand that you are priceless. You are fearless. You are extraordinary. You are everything that the word says you are. And as we get into this topic today, one of the things, and I kind of changed the word, and it's for um, a life without me is like a world without color. Can you say that to yourself? A life without you is like a world without colors. And that's what I want you to begin to realize, how important you are and how vital it is that you be here and be the best that you can. And Minister Wanda, okay, uh, thank you for being here. I already said that. But do you have anything to say as we get ready to get started? Good morning. Good morning, um, Sheikah and Simone and Alfreda and Pastor Jackie. We're so happy you're here today. And those that will come on later, thank you. We're so privileged and honored to have you here today.
I believe that everything that you said, just opening up, is vital for everyone to know. You are who you are. And that's a powerful statement that a life without you is like a world without color. It takes me back to when I was a little girl and they had black and white TV or color TV. But for a long time, they just had black and white when the TV shows would broadcast. But in actuality, we knew that we were living in this colorful world, right? And in my home, the colored TV was downstairs in the family room. And
That's right.
only my brother and I had these little 13-inch color TVs, but everybody didn't have, as children, everybody didn't have their own TV. That was kind of like a privilege, right? There
Yes.
was one main TV that was in the family room that everybody watched, or maybe it was the living room. We call them family rooms now. Back then, we called them dens. It was in the den
That's
that that's where my mom sat and she watched TV. And but in some families, they didn't have the privilege of having that big, what was it, 25-inch console.
console
Oh,
TV.
yes, that heavy console TV. Uh, some people still just had black and white, but I remember as a little girl sitting there looking at my black and white TV, replacing the black and white with color and wondering what it looked like with color, knowing that it was created in color, but it's displaying to me before my eyes in black and white. And that picture, although I knew it had color, looking at it in black and white, it was so dull. It had no real imagination. It really wasn't bringing life to the characters. There was a story going on, but man, it was so much more amazing if I could see it in color. I say all of that to say this. Imagine what that world would look like if it really was just black and white and we all were the same shade of gray, black, white, and everybody just looked the same. There would be no diversity. There would be no creativity. There would be no real personality. There would be no artistic view, no artistic concept. If everything was just black and white and everything looked the same and everything was done the same and everything sounded the same. But a world, a life without you in it, your individuality, your distinct personage brings a splash of color wherever you go. When you enter a room, you bring a splash of color. When you step in the door at your job, you bring a splash of color. When you send an email, when you work on a contract, when you complete a task or an assignment, you are bringing your splash of color to that very thing.
Yes.
Imagine what that would be like if you weren't doing it. Yes, there might be some other people in your position, in your distinct position, but I promise you, even with the same job title, they can't do it like you do it because you bring your splash of color. Even in your family, you bring a splash of color. Imagine your family without you. Imagine that. Imagine your family without you. Imagine your block, your neighborhood without you. Imagine a life without you. It's like a world without color.
Yeah, and that's good. There's a little clip I want to share. But as you was talking, I was thinking about it springtime now, and how now you're going to see all the colorful flowers, the colorful. I mean, the trees all turn green, but just to see them blossom and have flowers on some of the trees before they blossom. And this is one of the sayings, and this is by Carla Belford, and it says, what a desolate place would be a world without a flower.
Wow.
We need you.
Yeah.
You have so much to offer, so much to enhance. That's an enhancement. Flowers, I love flowers. I love when I get flowers because it represents life to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see it, it makes me excited because only thing I think about is the grace of the Father and life. So I want to share this little clip before we go any further. Oh, okay.
Self-love equaled snatch. By snatched, I mean everything's looking good on the outside. I take care of my hair. I take care of my body. You won't catch me slipping. Self-love really meant perfect for me in the beginning. I didn't feel the best. I just looked like I had it all together, but inside my mind was falling apart. It's changed so much because now my self-love journey, it really has everything to do with how I feel on the inside. Do I want my skin to be clear? Yes. Do I want my hair to be flourishing? I'll take it. But what do I want more? I want my mind to be at peace. I'll give it all away just to be at peace here and be at peace with who I am, peace with my past, peace in the present moment, and comfortable and thriving in everything that I am. That's what I want most. One day I opened my camera app and I took this picture. I was feeling extra insecure that day and I thought it just wasn't good enough, so I decided to put on makeup. Maybe that would make me feel better, but It didn't. I still felt like I wasn't perfect enough, so I used an app to edit my face and get rid of my acne scars and my flaws. Who was I trying to be perfect for? Chasing perfection was so draining because I couldn't be comfortable in who I truly was. I was so worried about being judged by other people, but inside, I was my biggest critic. I was a judge. I want to love who I am at every moment in every stage of my life. They sure do laugh. I used to think that self-love.
So I like that. I took that off of Teresa Braxton's page. I asked if I could use it because I thought that was so fitting for today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm glad that you're here. Uh, could you take a moment, hit that like sign, share, and subscribe? There's someone out here that's going to need this conversation today that you know. And as we share it, and what she said was so true. You know, if you think about yourself, and it is draining trying to keep up, trying to portray this certain image, and trying to always look flawless. Because that's what she was talking about, looking flawless. She talked about her makeup. She talked about everything on the outside. But then she said, but my insides was not satisfied. And even though we want you to know that you're fearless, we want you to know that you're priceless, we want you to know that that starts on the inside.
Absolutely.
We want you to know that you have to be in a place to accept who you are. That's why it's embrace who you are. A lot of times we don't, because we hear people and we feel like we're in competition. We feel like we have to be on this place where we got to match up. That's what it is. We feel like we have to match up. If someone talks more intelligent than us, we feel like we have to match up. If someone displays themselves in high esteem, we feel like instead of just being who we are, you know, uh, you're paused, I'm not, but it's okay. I'm gonna be me. But when you think about those things, and like you were talking about the TV, the black and white TV, and I remember when color TV came out, and it was Christmas time, and we got a new TV. We were so all excited, and my father turned on the TV, and it was a black and white TV. We were upset. He went and got some that color clear paper with the different colors, and he put it over the.
No.
He said, "There's your color." Then he made us go back to bed. But I thought about that when you were talking. I got my first TV when I was 13. You was talking about 13, and it was a 13-inch.
Yeah. Me.
And that was like, to me, that was, I got the TV, I got the princess phone. You couldn't tell me nothing because I was set now in my room. But the TV, even if we think about the TV, and you didn't wasn't able to watch TV all night. 12 o'clock came, you got the United State flag and waving, and the Star Spangled Banner. I think it was I can't remember which one
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
Saying it's time to go to bed.
Right. And
You
then you
know,
hear
yes.
so one
And
doesn't know all night.
no, no. And just think about that. If we take that and we use that illustration and we begin to, this is just a concept, go to bed on time,
Hmm.
get our rest,
Hmm.
wake up refreshed in the morning because we wasn't up all night. That plays a lot in our attitude. That plays a lot in how we feel about ourselves.
It does.
Because if you're tired, it shows. And when I say it shows in your personality. It shows in how you do things. And that's a lot of times when the insecurity come in. One of the things my children tell me, they know when I'm tired. And when I get to, yeah, they're like, Mom, just go to bed. Just go to bed. They're like, oh my God, you're tired. Go to bed. And if your day is like that, because you have not valued yourself enough to get the proper amount of rest.
Yeah.
For one, if
Mhm.
you don't value yourself enough to go beyond sitting in front of the TV with a bowl of ice cream, watching TV all night, watching flicks, them girl flicks, and I call them girl flicks because that's what the men say. That's why I'm saying that. But if you don't take the time to refresh yourself,
Yeah.
restore yourself,
Mhm.
when what happens is through your life, it begins to break you down. Why? Because mentally can't catch up because the tired is overtaking it. Our mental state has a lot to do with how we respond to things. What do I mean? Mentally, we get emotional, we begin to be insecure, we begin to beat ourselves up. We don't see ourselves the way we were created. Only thing we see are the negative things. And why I said tiredness, I don't know, because we was talking about the TV and the 12 o'clock. But that does play a big part of it. How we feel about ourselves. When you're tired and you look in the mirror, you might not see the best version of you. You might not even feel the best version because you're not gracing yourself enough to give yourself the proper amount of rest, to eat the proper amount of food. You know, food has a lot also to do with that. What we eat a lot of times will cause us to be in a place of bloatedness, cause us to be in a place of we don't know, our emotions is just off and we don't know what it is. It's what you ate. And sometimes I have to go back and think, what did I eat? Because I feel it when I wake up in the morning. So we have to take into account how we eat, how we sleep, whether we exercise or not, even if we take a walk, how much water we drink. All these things play a part. And I don't have that video right now, but all these things play a part in our makeup.
Absolutely.
And if we're not valuing the temple, the precious, beautiful, wonderfully made and who we are. Now, why don't we? Society, a lot of times. Sometimes it's tiredness, sometimes it's what we see in society, it's what we see on the TV and these radio videos, music videos. For example, I remember one day I was looking at some of the rap videos, and I was looking at the young ladies on there. And when I was looking at the young ladies on there, it began to make me think, oh, I need to do something with myself. They have them have the boobs, they make them have the long hair, they make them have the behind. They have all trying to portray this picture to make our young people think that they're not good just the way they are, or they're not valuable enough because they don't have these things. That's not what makes you. That's an enhancement in you, but it's what's on the inside that makes you. You can have all that on the outside and still be nasty on the inside
Absolutely.
because you don't know who you are. You haven't embraced who you are. You're too busy trying to figure it out by trying to be somebody else.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to add to that.
It's extremely true. You know, rest is vital to your daily life. And when we don't get the proper amount of rest, then it's going to honestly affect everything you do. Because if you didn't get enough sleep, I can guarantee you when you do finally go to sleep, then you have to wake up, you're startled when you wake up, and already you're tired because I'm exhausted because I didn't go to sleep the way I should. And now you get up, you're exhausted, you're dragging to put your clothes on, then you get dressed and you're in the car. And so now I'm going to get coffee. And when I get to work, I'm not going to work at full capacity because I'm not full, because I have not allowed my body to rejuvenate itself. My body isn't rejuvenated. My mind isn't rejuvenated. And after that, everything is affected. Everything and everybody is now affected because I didn't get enough sleep. I'm not giving my work 100%. I'm not giving my team 100%. I'm not even giving myself 100%. And I guarantee you, we're not the nicest people. Some of us aren't just 100% mean, but we aren't extremely nice and pleasant, or you're quiet and what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm tired. I didn't get no sleep last night. And everybody can tell you didn't get any sleep last night because you're tired. And now you're trying to play catch up. And now you're trying to compensate for the rest that you didn't get. Now here comes the coffee, and all of the coffee is
All the bad stuff.
not good for you. I can proudly say I don't even know how I did it, but I listen. As a hairstylist, I saw a post the other day that said like we live off of 2 cups of coffee and a cookie. I promise you
You
that
don't have time.
I promise you that was my life. Most days I didn't even take the time out to eat because it would mess up my schedule. I was so serious about staying on time, still am, that all I probably could have was a cup of coffee. I know I'm full of coffee and hair, inhaling hair and coffee. That was all I had. But it began to take a toll on my body because then
Yeah.
when I did get to eat, it's at the end of the day. We're not supposed to be eating at the end of the day. And so when you aren't taking care of you, that's another way of saying that you don't like you. You don't value you. You don't realize that you are priceless. You are extraordinary. Because here's the thing, when you value something, when something is priceless to you, when something is extraordinary to you, when it's extraordinary, baby, you don't let everybody touch it. You take care of it. You do what's necessary to keep its value up, right? Why don't we do the same thing for ourselves? Sometimes we tuck it away and hide it because we don't want everybody to see it and we bring it out.
Right, right.
Okay, right,
Yeah.
right.
I got a lot of special occasion stuff.
But that's the same thing. Tuck yourself away at night and go to bed. Go to bed. I think all of us, as Simone said, need to have a proper sleep regimen. We need to go back to those days where I don't know what it is. I do. We think we're going to miss something. That's what it is. We're nosy and we think we're going to miss something. Or either because I had to work, now I got to catch up on my shows. I remember my mom we used to record our shows. And so over the weekends, we had to catch up on everything we missed because we had to go to work, right? And so now we just binge watch
Yeah.
things and we're not getting the proper sleep. You need the proper sleep. You need the proper food and you need to exercise because that is the way you stay fearless and priceless and extraordinary. Like she said, she made sure that the outside was slayed.
We always do.
I know we can all relate to that video, Miss Leslie. She made sure the outside was slayed, but on the inside, she was all tore up.
Yeah.
Many of us can relate to that.
Yeah.
How many of you can relate to getting ready to grab your phone and take a picture and you taking that picture about 20 times? I know I can.
That's right.
I don't like, you can see this. Okay, let
Yeah.
me to this side and take a picture because this my this side. So let
Yeah.
me take a picture this way and let me smile this way. Okay, I don't like my smile. Okay, my eye went that way. You take that picture about 20 times and then you finally get the one you like. Or we use the filters.
Mhm.
Or it might be a certain phone because if you have Samsung, because I know I had one, they take some really fire pictures because the filter is already built in. But that Apple camera is pure. That's what grandma said, pure.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
giving you the real you in real time. And we see that and we're like, ooh, okay, let me take this again. Love you. There is nothing wrong with you. Love you.
Yeah. So if we look at some of the words that come along with fearless, oh my goodness, I forgot my glasses. Bold,
Mm,
brave, courageous. That's the first three. And then it goes on to daring,
mhm,
dynamic, just a few of them, confidence, and
mhm.
that's one right there, confidence.
Yeah,
Unafraid.
love that. And dynamic. I love that.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
And but that's just a few of them. Uh, if we take boldness, why
Mm.
is it we're bold for everybody else but
But
ourselves?
ourselves.
Why is it we support everybody else but ourselves? Why is it that we can see the best in or the beauty in somebody else but ourselves?
But
Why is that?
ourselves.
Why is that? What causes us to not now? Not saying everybody is like this. There are some people that are confident because they know who they are. But
Mhm.
I'm just talking about the majority. I don't want anybody to say, well, that ain't me. I'm so glad it's not.
Yes.
But for the majority, these are some things that we need to work on. As I'm not even gonna say women, but as men, they deal with things differently,
Yes.
but they still deal with them.
But they deal with the same things.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still have to.
They still
They,
deal with their body images. They still deal with the fact of losing their hair. They still, deal with their self esteem. They just carry it a little different,
yeah.
and I realize that a lot of times that self esteem issue
Hmm.
is camouflaged by um, a, a false confidence when it comes to men. The man that
They're
um,
macho. They got to
they,
be macho.
they
Macho.
always appear to be very confident and I look good and all of that, and they take extra care in how they present themselves to the world, and that has it's a part of being having self-esteem issues. We can't think that women are the only ones that go through this,
Right.
because men do as well, and women need to recognize that we do and understand it.
Yeah, and that's so true. Um, so I'm looking. Some of the words for priceless is trustworthy. It says helpmate. It's really weird.
For Priceless.
Yeah, some of these definitions, but one of them, this says according to the word Elohim who created you, and I'm gonna say paid the price, which we know Yeshua,
Hmm.
Jesus Christ paid the price to purchase us, and that was priceless, and it was priceless.
It was.
But when I look at it, it's saying so precious that its value cannot be determined,
That's good. You can't put a number to it.
like priceless work of art.
Mm.
We are a work of art.
Absolutely.
We were created as a work of art, and each one of us was created differently. Putting the pen to the paper or to the
The canvas.
canvas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And uh, a lot of time, artists doesn't really create until they start painting.
Hmm.
And we think about Yahweh and when He started painting us, and as He began to paint us, it became into view how he wanted us to look. It came into view how he saw us. And when you think about that, it puts a whole nother twist on who you are and what you are. It puts a whole nother twist on, should put a whole nother twist on how you see yourself. Value, priceless, priceless, precious in his sight, a precious piece of artwork. And I'm not saying that we're so precious that we're conceited or that we're vain, but what I'm saying is that we're secure in who he created us to be. We are stable because we accept who he's created us to be, you know. And when we begin to notice how, if you close your eyes for a minute and just begin to see the sweeping of the brush from the paint and the colors, you talked about the colors, and you begin to see the colors and how they extract or they come through the canvas, how they begin to soak in and how they become brilliant. Those colors become brilliant. And when Yahweh looks at us, and some call God, he sees a brilliant piece of artwork. Why is it brilliant? Because he made it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it brilliant. He looks at it and he says, oh my God, I created this. I created her. I created him just the way I saw them. And we look in the mirror and say, why I look like this? Why'd he make me like this? Or why did he bring me here? Why was I born? For what? For all this pain and discomfort? We can't even see to be grateful that even through those times, he's maturing us and growing us up to be greater in him.
You know, I want everybody this week to find an artist to just look at and watch them as they create a piece of artwork, a masterpiece. And if you watch the painter, the artist, as they're creating this beautiful work of art, in the beginning, you're already anticipating, you're already excited because you know it's going to turn out to be something beautiful. But in the beginning, it just looks like colors of black, maybe some white, splash of blue, a splash of orange. Oh, there's a drop of yellow. But as they begin to paint, and it's so amazing to watch all of these colors blend together and then create this beautiful piece of art, whether it's abstract or it's a portrait. Uh, it can be beautiful. And there's one particular guy, I'm going to look for his name, Miss Leslie. Maybe we can show a video of him creating things. When he starts, he just, it's, I've seen other people where they're kind of just throwing paint on a canvas, an empty canvas, right? They're just throwing paint on the canvas. They're just throwing it on the canvas. What is this about to be? Then they're throwing paint on the canvas, but after they throw the paint on the canvas, then they'll take their fingers and then begin to design and draw. And when they turn it upside down, you're like, oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, what they create. And there's this one gentleman that he's just putting, he uses anything. I've seen him use his hair. I've seen him use all types of objects to create this piece of art, to use a brush. Not even, I don't think I've ever seen him use a brush, a spoon, a plate, a shoe. Like I said, he's used his hair, and he's just using these implements to get the paint on the canvas. And you're looking at it like, what in the world? And then he turns that picture upside down, and it is the exact replica of the person that's standing to the side. It's just amazing to see. And when I think about that, I think about us and when Yahweh created us, there was just this blob, just blob. But he knew what it was that he wanted to create. He knew what he wanted it to look like in his mind and in his heart because it first starts in the heart. It forms in the heart. And it first formed in his heart. And then he got the image in his heart. And then he began to create. And he said, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you.
I've already designed you.
It started in his heart. And then he began to speak and began to form and create you. But it was just an image at first. And even when we look at the different mountains and the different trees, but we'll stay at the mountains. There is not one mountain that looks exactly like the other. He took his finger and designed and created, and not one mountain looks the same. And not one mountain says, yeah, I don't like this. Well, right here, I don't like how the grass grows right here. I don't know. I like the way
The birds.
it grows. I like how the rocks form on you. Why my rocks don't form like that? Not one mountain says that. Not one rose looks at the other rose and wants to be like the rose growing next to it. It embraces who it is. It blooms and stands up and becomes a beautiful rose in its own self. And why is it that we look in the mirror when he designed you distinctly, every piece of hair, because every hair on your head is numbered.
It's numbered.
It's numbered. He knows exactly how many hairs you have on your head, even though you lose 100 a day. He still knows how many hairs are on your head.
I be
And
trying to figure it out. How many hairs I got, Lord?
he knows. And he placed each one there intricately. He knew when they were going to start to lose their melanin.
The
He designed it
curl,
that
the
way.
straight
He knows
hair.
the curl type. He knew yours was going to be a little wavier. He knew yours was going to be a little coilier. He knew what your fingers. Have you ever looked at your hand and looked at the various lines on your hand?
Probably for the wrong reason, but I do.
Amazing. They are small and they're amazing. And guess what? No one's designs on their hands look like
It's the
yours.
same.
That's how much he loves you.
Yeah.
That's that pricelessness.
Hmm.
Is that a word that we're talking about?
It's a word.
But it's not. I just made it up and it sounded good. Priceless.
Uh-huh. Pricelessness.
You're priceless. But that's how priceless and valuable you are. Even your hands. My hands aren't made like yours. The lines that I have on my hands, they're not like yours, Miss Leslie. They're not even in the same place.
No.
Each of us were designed by the master himself.
But you know what's good about that? You're talking about the hands. Each one of our hands tell a story.
Yes.
That is so amazing. When we look at it, we just see lines.
Hmm.
But skilled person that's skilled with understanding and knowing what the hands represent. They can look at your hands and tell a lot about you because there's a story, an intricate story in every part of us. We have our own story, and we decide most of the time not to live out that story.
Mm.
Why do I say we have a story? Because he didn't send us here without one.
Right.
He didn't he didn't send us here, and I'm so grateful that he didn't just make us and put us here
Yes.
with no intentions for us. The intentions that he has for us is in our story.
Hmm.
It tells who we are and why he created us and what our purpose is. And that's where the beauty is for real. Wow. When you think about, I was just trying to find the lyrics to the song that James Cleveland sang. He took me and made something beautiful out of my life.
Hmm.
James Cleveland wrote that song way back when. He said, took a wrench like me, and made me something. I can't remember all the words, but the part of the fact is that he made something beautiful.
Yeah.
And who do we represent?
Mm.
Him.
Him.
The artist that paints a picture, it represents him. You can look and say, oh, that's so and so's painting. If you're into art, you can say, I ain't seen it too. You can say, you can say that, oh, that's so and so's painting. I
Mhm.
remember when we went to go Florida a lot, but when the children were young, and I went on the city walk. There's a little quaint area that you can go, and I went into this art store, and they had this art by this man that was so phenomenal. I never forgot it. And I wrote his name down. I was going to get his paintings. And when I looked up his paintings, I didn't have enough money to buy his paintings. So I never did end up getting one of his paintings. But they were so magnificent that I love paintings that have detail. I love paintings that are intricate. There's, you got to go deep into it.
Mhm.
When I say you got to go deep in it, you have to imagine it.
Mhm.
Do we imagine who we really are? Do we ever really take the time to go past how, like, we have a running joke, a few of us, and Tiffany likes to say I'm his favorite. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the apple of his eye. But do we really go deep into that?
Mhm.
Do we really understand oh my goodness, he loves us so much.
Yes.
His love has no conditions. Oh,
No conditions. None. You don't have to do anything special for him to love you. You don't have to earn his love. You don't have to buy his love.
if we stay right there with that love for a moment and think about how many people we try to impress because we want them to see the better part.
Yeah. Because we want them to love us. And I think the part that is so drastic is about that is the one that we're trying our best to get them to love us.
Don't.
They won't. Nothing you can do, and you've exhausted everything you know how to do to get them to love you, and they still won't. You never have to worry about that.
And when you know who you are, you don't have to fight for their attention. Because you know what? They don't make us, they don't understand us. They just know. that we are either a man or a woman. And that's how they respond to us because most times, and that's not everybody, most times they don't go deep enough to experience the value that's within us. And here we are trying our best to get them to understand why, because we desire and like the human touch. We desire and want to be, cl- we do want to be applauded.
Mm-hmm.
We do want someone to see the better part of us. But if they don't, are you going to fall? Are you going to crumble? Or are you going to keep moving? Are you at a place where you're mature enough to not get stuck on how they feel about you or what they think about you? So, that was another thing I wanted to talk about before you go. I just want to say extraordinary.
Mm.
And one of the things about extraordinary, it says something extraordinary goes beyond, above what you expect.
Mm.
That's the Yahshua. That's um, Yahweh Elohim. That is the God, and I'm saying God for those that's within us.
Mm.
He becomes the extraordinary flower that blossoms within us. And I'm probably not using that in the right contents, but the extraordinary that he put in us from the foundation of the earth is what he desires to come forth. Why? It's the uniqueness and the extraordinary that causes others to be magnets and drawn to us.
That's good. That's good. That extraordinary part of us that is Elohim or God is that very unusual part.
That's
That's that.
what it says,
Yeah.
unusual. It says remarkable.
Uh-huh. It also says surprising. And I love that part because they never you surprise many. You surprise many. You know what's amazing is that I was talking to my best friend about a specific individual that we grew up with in childhood. And I know when we back what about 2008 to 2007, 2008, all of us embarked on Facebook, and so we started to connect with everybody. We went to elementary school, with junior high and high school, and this one particular person saw me and was like, "Oh, so I see time has been really good to you. Look, look at you." I said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Well, sometimes, what's wonderful about a caterpillar is that a caterpillar will go into a cocoon for a period of time and emerge a beautiful butterfly." Thank you. You like my wings? They're beautiful, aren't they? Colored, just amazing. I'm glad you noticed that I'm a beautiful butterfly now, right? Surprising, because what she really was saying, "Oh, you're extraordinary, Wanda. I wasn't expecting that," and as you shouldn't have, because I'm extraordinary, I'm remarkable, and I'm unusual because he made me that way. And don't ever underestimate anyone. When you see them as a child and they might not be appealing to you, but baby, give them time. That caterpillar will emerge to a beautiful butterfly. But what makes me a beautiful butterfly is because of what's on the inside. It's my inside, honestly, that shines to the outside because of who I am, because of what my heart is. And you know have an amazing heart. I can say that about myself and not feel like you shouldn't say that. I have an amazing heart and I'm an amazing individual.
Yes.
I'm extraordinary. So you should be surprised. And
Yeah.
let me tell you this morning before we get off of here, many of you have surprised a lot of people, and you continue to surprise people daily
Yes.
because you are extraordinary. That's your word for the week.
That's the word for the week.
Extraordinary.
Yes.
That's, I want everybody to say it. All this week, I'm extraordinary
Yes.
because you are.
Yeah. So I'm going to read a few of them, but as you were speaking about the butterfly, I began to think of how the butterfly flies around so gracefully
Mm.
and so free. And the butterfly is not ashamed because it doesn't have the purple and the other one has purple in it. The butterfly is not concerned about that. The butterfly is living life. You know, when you see a butterfly is going from tree, maybe to tree, it might even land on you. And you can see, and when they land on you, they're not fluttery, they're just graceful. And that's how we should be. We should be free and graceful in who we have been created to be. You know, it says, like you said, unusual. It says exceptional, unique, rare, remarkable, outstanding, abnormal. This one I like, uncommon.
Ah, I love that. And you know what's amazing? We have not ever seen one butterfly and was like, oh, it's ugly. We have not. Whatever butterfly we see, from a monarch butterfly to one that's full of color, if we just see a butterfly in our vicinity, it immediately catches our attention and we are captured or just amazed by
Watching.
its beauty. That's it.
I started to do the Patti LaBelle. That's why I was laughing.
She says, fly.
Lie. And
Yes, be a butterfly. Just that, because that's what you are. Yes, they're majestic. They captivate us. Not once have you ever seen one and was like, ooh, or turned off by it or don't want to see it. They're beautiful. They are beautiful.
they are beautiful. And guess what? He said we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And some of the versions says we are beautiful.
Yes, unique.
We are unique.
Mhm.
We are uncommon. That means we're not like somebody else.
Yes.
We have um, uh, qualities. We have something that is different than our sisters and our brothers, our neighbors. We stand out because of our colors.
Yes. A life without you is like a world without color. And I need your uniqueness. I need every speck of color that we see. So don't try to be someone else. Don't try to imitate someone else's color. Be the pure color that you are and continue to make this world beautiful.
Yes.
As Miss Leslie said, we need you. I need your point of view. I need the way you would do it. I need the way you would say it. I need the way you would bring it to the table. I need the way you would present it. I need Miss Leslie the way she adds to this broadcast because I can't do it the way she does. And she's not trying to be me and do it the way I do. But together, while each of us add a splash of color, it blends beautifully and makes an exquisite piece of art.
Yeah. So we're at the top of the hour, and I do want you to embrace who you are. I want you to embrace your uniqueness. But most of all, I want you to embrace your uncommon, because that is the part you need to study.
Mm.
Because when you begin to really study that word and see who you are, to see how you have been created, He didn't create us to be like someone else. He created us to be like us. Each and every one of us have value. We have substance. We have something to add. As Minister Wanda was saying, she need those things. We need those things. That's what makes us fitly joined together. We're not crabs. We're not at the bottom of the barrel pushing each other down trying to get to the top. We're already at the top. Let's stay there and let's be who we've been called to be. Till we meet again, I want to say shalom. I want to say that you have peace, that you begin to work on your inside and let it shine on the outside. As James Cleveland said, he took me and made something beautiful out of my life. He has made you beautiful already. And once you embrace it, you can be like the butterfly and just freely fly. Yes, freely fly because you know who you are, confidently, head held high. That's one thing I always like to say. Don't forget to hold your head up. Smile today. You see that beautiful smile Minister Wanda has? Smile today and have an amazing day until we meet again.
You're
May
extraordinary.
surround you and keep you and protect you and watch over you. Don't let anybody tear you down because you are extraordinary.
That's
Be blessed.